It's podcast host versus podcast host, with nerdy landscaper Tina Gonzalez facing her pal and wearer of many hats, Sarah Lambert, in true crime and Buffy the Vampire Slayer trivia. This is Trivia with Buds. And welcome to another edition of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Budds. I'm a comedian. I'm a trivia host. I am a television producer, and I live in Los Angeles, California, and I am providing you with pop culture trivia at its finest on the weekly. Thanks for putting your ears in your headphones and listening to another episode of this show. We've done 56 other episodes, so if you like this one, if you like the title of this episode, go back and check out some of the titles of our other episodes. I'm sure you'll find something like baseball movies or Seinfeld or even marine biology to tickle your fancy. We have an amazing episode with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, trivia, and some true crime trivia coming your way with two friends of mine from the Unpolished Discourse podcast, Miss Tina Gonzalez and Sarah Lambert. You're going to have a great time with them, but before we get to that, I wanted to tell you about my week off from work. I was in between jobs. Season 10 of Ridiculousness wrapped last week in early August, and I got to work on the 250th episode of that show. 10 seasons in the can. I've worked on over 100 episodes of Ridiculousness, finding clips, sourcing clips, and doing a bunch of fun stuff under the Rob Dyrdek Super Jacket umbrella. So now we're moving on to season 3 of Crashly. It's a Nickelodeon show that I worked on the first 2 seasons of as well. And over on that show, I'm a segment producer. I'll be finding clips and, placing really funny sports-related clips in different episodes of the show. So I'm super excited to be back at work. And I had that week off, which was cool because I got to do a lot of fun at-home family stuff. Got to hang out with my daughter, Annabelle, every day. We went to Disneyland with our season pass. A few times we went to a bunch of different stores. I took her to different malls. We went to a couple of indoor playlands. We made slime in a fun Facebook Live video. If you want to go find that on my Ryan Budds Facebook page, it was really cool. I've never seen her laugh harder at how gross and gooey the slime was. So if you have not done that with your kids, if you have kids and you listen, all you need is we bought this kit at Toys R Us. It was called the Nickelodeon slime kit, and super easy to do. You can also make it at home with cornstarch and glue, or borax and glue and different things like that. Check out some slime recipes for some good times with your kids. Another really cool good time thing I found over the break was a video store by my house. Now, I've only lived in the area I live in for the last 3 months or so I haven't explored everywhere, but I knew there were a couple video stores, so I Googled video store, and I found one called Star Video. So I go and check this place out. Now, I've worked at every video store that's been around on the south side of Chicago. I worked at Blockbuster. I worked at Hollywood Video. I worked at Family Video. I worked at Family Home Video. And I worked at Game Crazy, which was inside Hollywood Video, if you remember their version of GameStop over at Hollywood Video. Anyway, I walked in this place and I was like, holy cow, this is a Hollywood Video. They literally just put the word star over where it used to say Hollywood. It was the same decor, the same colors, the same setup of the store with the new releases on the wall and the old catalog movies on the aisles. And it's amazing. It's a really cool store. They get brand new Blu-rays that are out. Stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and King Arthur. Those were the first 2 movies I rented. King Arthur was just about as stinky as everybody said. I'd give it a nice 5 out of 10. And Guardians 2 was awesome. I'd give it a 7 or 8. Super funny, great sequel, and insane action in that one. Also I rented an old movie. They give you 3 free rentals at this place for signing up. And I rented Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which was pretty cool. It was a pretty good Ben Stiller movie. Pretty good acting, cool characters, awesome setting and scenery because he does a lot of daydreaming in this movie. Not the best movie overall, but a cool watch. So I got to watch a bunch of stuff over the break and had a good time doing it. And just going to the video store, man, I miss doing that. Even it was a little bit across town. It's 15 minutes away. So I got to drive through a few neighborhoods to get there. but there's just something about walking around that video store. It's super nostalgic, and you feel like you really get to pick your movie and get it home and watch it instead of just like, oh, it's at Redbox, it's in this little red case, I never get to see the box, etc. I don't know, something about it. If you like movies, it is fun. Find a video store. I'm sure there's one by you, especially if you're in a small town. If you're listening to this in like, Iowa or something, I bet you there's like still a video store. Family Video is rampant still in the Midwest, from what I understand. So go find a video store and have some fun. We're going to go back to the weekly segments that we started to do for year 2 of the podcast. I did it for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then we had some special episodes where it didn't really fit. So now we're back to a good old battle between 2 friends, and you're going to love these girls talking about Buffy and true crime. But here is the word of the week. The word of the week is astrobleme. That's ASTROBLEME, astrobleme. That is a eroded remnant of a large ancient crater made by the impact of a meteorite or comet. Astrobleme. That's your word of the week. How would you use that in a sentence? You'd be like, man, there was a giant ditch in my backyard, and I thought it was just a ditch. It ended up being a real astrobleme. There's how you use that in a sentence. Did some research, found out that ditch was a nice old astrobleme. So there you go, astrobleme, word of the week. On this day in 1902, August 22nd, 1902, Theodore Roosevelt became the first president to ride in a goddamn car. How do you like that? Teddy Roosevelt, 1902, first president to ride in a car. So that's interesting. I wonder if he knew all these years later it would not be as fun to ride in a car because you're usually going 2 miles an hour if you live anywhere around LA on the West Coast. He did not know that probably. Although back then he was probably going 2 miles an hour in that first car because they didn't go very fast. Here's your next one. It is the Badass Pop Culture Thing of the Week. This is another segment we've been doing. And I talk a lot about cool pop culture things, but this is the absolute coolest thing, and it is the Abominable Snowman from the Matterhorn ride at Disneyland Funko Pop vinyl. I didn't even know this thing existed until I walked into Disneyland with my family last Friday. There's a long line for this store called D23. So I said, what's this line for? They said, oh, it's an exclusive Disneyland ride pop vinyl that comes out today. You can only get it today. They're going to sell out real soon. So I hopped in line. I waited about 45 minutes probably, which I don't do. I hate lines. I hate waiting. And I know Disneyland is all about lines, but I always find a way around it somehow for single rider and things like that. But I was like, I'll wait for this toy. So I looked it up online. They were already selling. Someone was selling it for $116 on eBay that day, and people were bidding on it. So I'm like, holy shit, I got to get one of these. They were $20 a piece. I bought 2 of them. I gave one to my good friend, Casey O'Connor, who's been on the show before. You can find him on Instagram at Pop Culture Casey. He's a good friend, and he collects a lot of pop vinyls. And he actually hit me up that day about it. I told him, hey, I'm in line for this thing. And he goes, oh, try and get me one. And the limit was 2 per person. And I told him that they only gave me 1, and he was really upset. And then I surprised him when we came back to work today. So that was really cool. And it's an amazing little piece of Disneyland history, this Abominable Snowman. And lo and behold, I happened to meet this guy who was a Disney Imagineer at one of my trivia nights just last week at Pocock Brewing Company on Wednesdays from 7 to 9 in Santa Clarita, California. And I'm talking to this guy. I'm doing this dumb crowd work bit that I do quite a bit. If there's like an older couple that is, probably over 50, I'll be like, hey, everybody, my aunt and uncle are here. And then they're like thrown off guard, like, what? And then I just interact with them in a goofy way, and I tell old family stories as if they happened to us, but they're all improvised. So I was talking to this couple, and they were sipping their beers and laughing and having a good time. And after trivia, the guy came up and he goes, I got a lot of trivia for you. I used to be a Disney Imagineer. He goes, I just retired, and he goes, I did a bunch of sound for all the Disneyland parks, Disney resorts and things. I said, oh, that's cool. What are you most famous for? He goes, well, the voice of the Abominable Snowman on the Matterhorn is my voice growling. And I was like, holy shit. And there it is. A week later, I pick up the toy, which is based on the guy, his voice that I had just met. So I'm going to get him to sign it because I figure no one else is going to really have that. And that'll be a really cool collector's item. So shout out to my new friend. I think his name was Glenn Barker and his wife, Sandy Barker, if I'm not mistaken. He is a retired Imagineer and still is a consultant for a lot of the different parks and things. And he had a lot of cool stories. I think he's on a bunch of different Disney podcasts. If you want to go and find his name or interviews with him, that's the badass pop culture thing of the week, the Abominable Snowman, Matterhorn, Funko Pop Vinyl. Now that we got a bunch of fun stuff out of the way, we're going to dive into this episode. We've got some Buffy the Vampire Slayer trivia. We've got some true crime trivia. Here we go. Here on the rooftop in Glendale, California at my workplace. I've been recording a lot of podcasts here because it's convenient for me and I don't have to go anywhere, which is great. People just keep coming to me, which is really, really
How convenient.
fortunate. Yeah.
It's beautiful up here. Why wouldn't they?
Those are the voices of two beautiful girls. Speaking of beautiful, Sarah Lampert and Tina Gonzalez. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
You guys are players at one of my trivia nights at Pocock Brewing Company out in Santa Clarita, California.
The best brewing company ever.
It is really cool, and they're expanding.
I know,
Did you hear about
it's so
that?
exciting.
It's gonna be so
Yeah.
cool.
I can't wait to see how big it's going to be.
We've been hosting trivia there for over a year, or about a year, almost
and I
a
was
year.
there for the very first one.
You were. And you
Yeah, I
guys
didn't
were
know
playing.
that.
Yes, I was.
You guys were playing like Skip
She
Bo.
wasn't.
Uno? No?
No,
Well-
that was me and my friend Jen. We were playing Skip-Bo. But
Skip-Bo.
her and I play Skip-Bo,
Yeah, we do.
And I always refer to you guys as the hat team because you always have hats.
Yes.
there.
Yeah, many
Many,
hats.
many hats.
Or just
you're a woman
girls.
of many hats.
Yeah, I probably have about 20 plus.
20 different hats.
Yeah, I do.
You have one of those like Pharrell hunting hats. Those are kind of fun.
No, I don't. I need to get one though.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
all I usually wear. You caught me on a non-hunting hat
Right?
day. I didn't
a little
hunt
too
anything
windy.
today. Yeah. A little too windy. But we're here in Glendale, and you guys were gracious enough to drive all the way after work on Friday rush hour to do this podcast. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. That was really cool.
Yeah, anything
And by
to
the
get out
time-
of Santa Clarita.
I hear there's zombies up there.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are.
Drew Barrymore in her crook mouth. She told me. I am not a big fan of Drew Barrymore because she
Really?
she talks
Yeah,
out of the
I get
side of her
that.
mouth. It just bothers me.
Okay,
For some
I
reason.
can see that.
I really didn't like that show either. I watched the first episode and I thought it was like I couldn't get on board with the tone.
A
Like, it was,
lot of
like,
people say that.
super goofy, but like so goofy that I'm like nobody talks like this. So it was bizarre to me, and it was like Pleasantville-ish, but like I don't know. It was just.
Lacking the charm
And
of Pleasantville.
It seemed like it was lacking the charm, and then they just happened to throw in zombies, and it's like
Meh.
I think like they're like everybody loves zombies, and it's like not like all zombies. Like
Right.
if it's shitty, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I haven't gotten on board, but I think that's getting a season 2 probably. Right?
Yep, it is. I haven't even seen season
I
one.
haven't seen it. I
And
kind
you
of
guys live
refuse
there.
to watch it because
Yeah.
it's Santa Clarita.
Do you
But,
both live in Santa Clarita
Yeah.
We
proper?
live together.
We live
You
together.
do?
Yeah.
Very good. And how long have you all known each other?
Oh God, I've
Like
known
20
Yeah,
years?
I've known her since she was 14.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you live together, and you have a lot of the same interests.
We do.
Yes.
Usually, I hit the guests up and I say, "All right, give me 5 topics you're into," and then I hit each of them up. And Tina, you responded, I think, or was it you?
Both
Her.
of us.
Oh, it was you.
More her.
Because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
messaging through
With
your
me,
your
yeah.
Instagram account for your podcast, which is called.
Unpolished Discourse.
And what is Unpolished Discourse all about?
It's just a fun hobby that we have.
Yeah.
We reenact different movie themes that
Yeah.
are based on the theme that we've chosen for
Yeah.
that episode.
For that episode, and you put it out every week, every month.
We try
Yeah.
every month.
More like every month.
Every
Yeah,
month,
over-
sure. That's-
She's
We're
like the
working, like-
brains behind it. I'm like, I want to do this, but she made it happen.
Well, I thought it was funny when last time I saw you guys at the brewery, you had like scripts out.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
were going over scripts, and I said, "What is this?" And you're like, "We're getting ready for the podcast." And I was like, "Is it a scripted show?" And you're like, no, these are from movies. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am super glad you guys came, and I messaged you on there, and I said, "All right, give me 5 topics each," and the Unpolished Discourse account responded, which was Tina,
Tina,
for
yeah.
both of you guys,
Yes.
with 10 topics. So I kind of split them amongst the both of you, and we're going to get into those topics in just a minute. Tell me a little bit more about you guys. Tina, you work at a landscaping company,
Yes.
and it's called something Gothic?
Gothic landscape.
Gothic Landscape. And does that imply Gothic imagery? Like, or is it just a name?
That's
No.
That's like the question.
Everyone
so I
gets.
used to work there.
Yeah, she used to work there, too.
I used to work there too.
Yeah, everybody asks
Sure.
us that. No, it's based off of the street that it's a family-owned business.
Well, Sarah left for medieval
Yes. Yeah.
landscaping.
Yeah,
Isn't that right?
exactly.
Medieval
I did.
landscaping?
Exactly. Yeah. It's just
And-
based on the street name.
Very good. And how
Yeah.
long have you worked there?
13 years.
Oh, wow. So you're a big part of the company.
Sure.
She is. Come on.
All right. You're an adventurer. That was one of the bullet points you gave me.
I like to go on a lot of adventures.
What was the most recent adventure you went on?
Oh, God. What is the most recent adventure?
You ever go waterfall hunting around California?
You know what? I've been trying to get to Eaton Canyon to see
that's just
right over there.
West of here. East of here.
But every time I tried, we were having like those crazy rains.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want to walk in the mud.
Sure.
So
and then sometimes it's like it's too dry and there's no waterfall.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you got to watch out. Me and my wife and my daughter found one. I don't remember the name of it, but it was up near San Bernardino, way out by us, like past us. And it was a really nice hike. We went on Father's Day. But it was like all graffiti. Like when you got to the waterfall, so you're like, what a beautiful waterfall, surrounded by like gang tags. And I'm like, are there really gangs hiking? Like they're like,
I know, right?
Nice and then the people
let's deface it.
People were walking by us with weird hike snacks, which I thought was weird, like a case of donuts. And I'm like, you're on a hike, you can't like eat donuts on a hike. Yeah. And there's people when you get to the waterfall, it's a very small area, and they're like waiting in with all their clothes on, or there's like kind of gross people sunbathing.
Yeah.
It was really gross.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And
but
then,
that's
like,
part of the adventure.
Part of the adventure.
Exactly.
So it's all about finding adventure.
I think the last one, I mean, her and I, we've been working like 50 to 60 hours a week, so we haven't been like going out so much. But I think the last one was the Vampire Lounge.
Winery.
Yeah.
Ooh, where's that at?
It's in
Beverly
Hills. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Beverly
and it's all
That's where all the
themed. It
best
looks like you're
vamps
walking
are.
in a
Yeah.
lair and everything. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, interesting.
That was the last time.
And when I think of adventuring, I always think of video games like Uncharted and things. Do you ever play any of those type of games, like Tomb Raider, anything like that?
You know, when I was younger, my mom and my cousins used to sit in the dark and one would have the guide and the two others would be playing.
Yeah.
And they would guide each other through it. That's the only extent of Tomb Raider and games that I've had.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a real big gamer. I like board games.
What would be your like ultimate treasure that you could find? What kind of thing would you like to find more than anything? And like if you were in some tomb and you found something, what would be the coolest thing you think?
I think it would probably be the Fountain of Youth.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
That would be the biggest treasure ever.
You don't look that old.
Well, I feel old.
You feel old?
Yeah.
Well, you're at least 13 because you told me you've been at the Gothic Landscape for 13.
Right.
But you could have started there at 1 year old.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of company
That's true.
this is, right?
Or like the gift of cloning myself, so I could just throw myself out there.
Just a
and
bunch of Tinas?
Exactly.
Like I'm
just
more
hang out
about
by
the
myself.
buried treasure. I want to
Yeah.
find
I don't want
buried
a buried
treasure.
I
Like
don't wanna
fortune and glory, like Indiana Jones, you know?
Money
I
brings more problems.
I don't want to find anything that is like cursed. Like, you know what I
See,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. It could
It's
be
like, I just want to
cursed.
find a nice harp or something. Just a nice
a
harp.
magic harp
Yeah.
that makes everybody do what I want.
You guys visit a lot of breweries, which makes
Yes.
sense
Yes.
because you. That's where I met you guys, and you put on your bullet points that you make dream catchers.
I do make dream catchers.
How do you even get into that?
Well, I was into crocheting.
Yeah, my mom too.
Really?
Oh yeah, baby blankets galore.
Really? I like making. Blankets are too much of a commitment for me, so I usually make clothes.
Okay.
But dream catchers just came along because I needed something to make for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I like to give personal gifts rather than purchase gifts, I guess.
Sure. I give people a link to download my podcast.
That's a great gift.
Keeps on giving.
Exactly. And so that's just how I think I Pinterest and I saw one and I was like, I'm going to try and make that. And I just started making them.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Are you going to make me one for the podcast now?
Absolutely.
The podcast dream catcher?
Yes.
Me
Catch
too.
catch all
Only
my
if you
dreams.
show it to everybody.
Oh. Yeah, we'll get the business
Yes.
booming. Sarah, you are a babysitter, kind of.
Yeah,
Babysitter?
yeah.
You watch kids, your brother's kids?
I help them out, yeah.
How old are
And,
these kids?
Oh gosh, how old are they? Gosh, they're my nieces and nephews.
I think it's like, gosh, they're my
12,
age.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
No, 12, 9, and 6.
I see. 12, 9, and 6.
Yes.
And how
then
often are you watching these kids?
Like once a month for like a week or two.
You're like, technically, they are in the car.
They're
well,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. Well, you know, he's over in Vegas, so
Oh. We
No,
are
he's not.
We're
well,
getting
not
ready.
anymore, but-
We're getting ready to go to Vegas. My wife booked this trip and for her mom, and she didn't realize it was this fight weekend.
Oh,
Because she booked it way before
The McGregor fight?
Before the McGregor
Oh
fight was
my
announced.
goodness.
So now it's like going to be
It's gonna be
mayhem. It's gonna be
insane.
My sister, her sister, my sister-in-law, is a blackjack dealer there. And when the last Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao fight was going on,
Yeah.
she worked at I think the Cosmopolitan,
Ooh.
and they split all the tips amongst all the dealers, like in the whole casino. And she said at the end of the night, she had $3,000.
Oh my
Like,
God.
just one dealer.
Nice.
So this is, and they already said that this is going to be. They said this could be more betted on than the Super Bowl, which is
I believe
insane.
it.
It's going to be nuts.
Are you going to bet?
No, but I am interested in watching the fight, which I'm not usually interested in.
Me neither.
But when they get to be this epic and everyone's
it's like
talking,
a part of history.
I'm like, I almost just want to go out and be in a crowded bar when it happens.
That's
you
what
know?
we said. Yeah.
Usually I'm not. Usually I just hear about it. I watch on Facebook when people post it later that night, which I'll do too. But for some reason this time I'm like, I kind of want to do that. So we'll see. You are into small business accounting, which is something I'm going to skim over because it sounds.
I don't blame you. No, it's not. It's not.
I'm not a big accounting guy, but I could probably hire you because I don't know anything about books.
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
Yeah,
I can do it.
I'm starting to get to the point where like I pay people to host trivia for me sometimes, like friends that
You pay Nate?
I pay Nate.
He doesn't
for example.
do it out of the kindness of his heart?
He doesn't.
Dang.
I paid Nate just today. Nate Weatherup we're talking about. He was on the first ever episode.
Love Nate.
Have you guys listened to that? You should go back and listen to that one. It's White Sox and Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And him and my good friend Ken Gar. And I'm going to have Nate on again soon because it's been a year. But yeah, he's a funny dude, right?
I love Nate.
Genuinely funny dude. Great.
And he calls us
guy.
the lovely unpolished girls.
Yes.
So
When I said
bonus
you guys,
for that.
I saw him earlier today, and when I told him you're going to be on, I said, "Do you know the girls from the podcast?" He's like, "Unpolished girls, of course." Like, he knew
I love him.
Love you, Nate.
He's awesome.
You guys both own cats. What are your cats' names?
I don't own
Gina?
cats.
You don't own a cat?
No, she's a dog.
I'm a dog
Oh,
person.
that's right. Your dog's name is
Millie.
which was my grandma's name.
Really?
Mildred, but Millie was.
I call her Mildred when she's in trouble.
I do too.
I used to tell my grandma that too.
Did you
Like,
really?
Mildred, stop not buying me toys.
Yeah, right?
And what do you got over here, Sarah?
I have a grumpy old lady cat.
How
She's
old?
like 18 years
No,
old.
but tell him
Oh
what
my
kind of
gosh.
cat it is because this is fascinating.
Oh, she's a Hemingway cat.
I think it'd be like it's an imaginary. cat.
No, she's a Hemingway cat or polydactyl for the, formal term.
Bunch of toes,
6 toes.
bunch of extra ones.
Yeah.
But Hemingway loved
Loves-
those type of cats
yeah.
and bred them.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why they call them Hemingway cats.
Isn't it? I thought that was just a deformity when they were like banging their sisters and brothers.
Wow.
I thought those were like Game of Thrones cats.
All right. Oh, man.
I saw one of those one time in Utah, and it really. I was like, "Whoa!" There's a lot of extra space on that
yeah,
paw.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, 18 years old.
Yeah.
We just had to put down my cat, Simon.
I know, I
17.
saw that. I'm
It
It was
sorry.
mostly he was in my house, but it was my wife's cat growing up. She got him when she was a freshman in high school. So he was 17, and he just kind of started to shut down,
Yeah.
which they do. They stop eating, and then they just start to deteriorate. So
How's your wife doing?
She's okay.
Okay.
Saddest thing ever was when I got home that night, and Annabelle, my daughter, she's going to be 3. She is really good at repeating stuff, but I don't think always understands it.
Sure.
So I go, how was your day? And she goes, well, Simon's not coming back or something like that. And I go, where is he? And she's like, Granny took him to heaven. And I was like, oh my God.
That's
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I was sad as hell when I heard that.
Yeah, I hear ya.
But that was, he was a good cat, super chill cat. He was fat his whole life, so it was weird to see him get so skinny.
Yeah.
But he was super fun.
That was like her
Very
cat,
Mason.
yeah.
And he was a little runt when they got him, and he was a ton of fun. So rest in peace, Simon.
Bye, Simon.
You are originally from Minnesota, I
Yep.
also wrote down. And one time you shook
Minnesota.
Nelson Mandela's hand.
Man
Epic.
shook his hand. Yes.
Oh, my God. Is that all you did?
That's all.
That's it. All right.
No
very
more
good.
than that.
No more than that.
Yeah.
That's all she got.
There you go. So you shook his hand.
Yeah.
Not many people could probably say they did that.
I know.
And Minnesota, you're a big Prince fan,
Of course.
right?
Love
the purple
Prince.
one.
Yeah.
Oh. I used to like Prince as a joke, like, oh, it's so funny, like,
Yeah.
like he's so goofy. to
Yeah,
me.
right.
And then as I got older, I'm like, oh no, I really like Prince.
Yeah.
He's the best.
He's an amazing musician.
If you're from Minnesota and you don't like Prince, there's something wrong with you.
Right?
I'm just saying.
I
that.
will say St. Paul, Twin Cities, all that stuff.
Yes.
Minneapolis, St. Paul are the
Yep.
Twin Cities. Cleanest city I've ever been in.
Right?
It was like ungodly clean.
I know they're downtown. I was like, I wish LA was like this.
Yeah.
The
It's
graffiti
beautiful.
was like nice.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
artistic.
Beautiful
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
All right. So now that we know a little bit about you girls, we're going to get into your topics. These are the topics you guys gave me. Again, I just kind of split up the 10 you gave me. So, Sarah,
don't
your
even remember.
topics are serial killers. You're into serial killers?
No, that's her topic. But
That's
okay.
yours?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Should we
that
switch
was
it back and
mine.
No,
forth?
give it to her.
Well, we'll go to you. We'll go yours, and then I'll do the last
Okay.
5 for Sarah. Okay. So, Tina, your first topic, serial killers.
Okay.
Now, this is one of my weird rules about trivia because people have asked me over time. Maybe you guys have before, but a lot of people have. Why don't you do a round about like famous serial killers? And I'm like, I don't like being like, hey, come on out to the fun trivia night. Let's glorify
Yeah,
these people who
I
like
get it.
murdered families.
I get it. Yeah.
So, but I do like true crime. I
Yes.
just have a hard time being like, how many people did Ted Bundy kill? Isn't that crazy?
Right,
You know?
yeah.
So, but do you like is serial killers like? Do you like movies about serial killers? Do you like real life serial killers? What's your
I would
deal?
say I'm more fascinated,
Sure.
yeah, by
That's
the
probably more
psychology and all
accurate
of
to
that.
say.
Yeah. Mhm.
Of course. Okay, serial killers. We had Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, that's me.
That was yours.
That's
okay.
all me.
So we'll go back and forth with these.
All
We
right.
had Buffy. Okay, very cool. What do you like about Buffy?
What not to like about Buffy?
Yeah, exactly. I love the writing.
Yeah.
I love how campy it is.
Oh, it's great. I need to go through and watch the whole series. I probably watched the first 3 or 4 seasons with my older sister when it came back out way back in the day. And then I kind of just fell out by the wayside. But my wife, I think when she was pregnant, watched all of it. And Angel, I think.
We don't do Fathead. We don't do Fathead.
Yeah, we call him Fathead. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, boy.
Because
head
if you
got
start from
bigger.
the beginning, it grows
Really?
by the time he's in
Like
bones.
literally bigger,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, huge.
theoretically he's got a big head. No, he
Interesting.
literally
I
has
don't
a
think
fat
he was
head.
an actor before Buffy.
No, he wasn't.
I think
You know
I read a
what?
story one time. He was like walking a dog, and somebody was like, "Oh, he would fit the description."
I'm
for the
ashamed
producer.
to know this, but you're absolutely right.
boy.
I worked at Toys R Us, and
Yeah.
he would come in, and he was the biggest perv.
What would he do?
He would say inappropriate things to the young ladies.
What would he
Ooh.
be doing at Toys R Us though?
Shopping for his kids.
Oh, you
Oh.
mean more recently, not before he was famous.
No,
No,
after he was
he's
famous.
famous.
This
Oh,
is back
gotcha.
when I was like 18.
Sure. So
Yeah.
like 60 years ago.
Right.
Based on what you said earlier.
Right.
Okay. Very good. Your next topic, I guess I'll go over the place.
Sure.
Conspiracy theories. Who's that?
That's
you again.
totally
Yeah.
her.
Okay,
Oh
conspiracy
my
theories.
gosh.
We've done that one time on the podcast before. You should go back and listen to the
I'm
episode.
going to.
It was conspiracy
I should have
theories
studied that one.
and architecture. So it's kind of a
Oh,
weird juxtaposition.
Good one.
But that is a fun one. Do you have a favorite that pops off your head? Favorite conspiracy theory?
I mean, I'm going to say the most plausible. It's the 9/11
Yeah?
conspiracy theory.
Is that one you
yeah.
believe is totally
You
inside?
know, I don't like firmly put 100% belief in
Yeah.
them, but a lot of them, some of them have been proven true.
Sure.
So who's to say it's not?
I see what you're saying. I kind of am on board with you on that. Next topic was movie quotes. Who would that have been?
Both
Kind
of
both of you?
us.
Yeah.
Movie quotes? You had me at hello. Name that movie.
You had me. Oh, you had me at hello.
Oh God. Why
Nothing?
am I drawing?
No,
a complete
I got
break?
this. You
got
had
it.
me.
No.
You had me at
It's
No.
Jerry Maguire, isn't
Yep,
it?
that's
I was that was on
I was
the tip of
starting
my
to sing
tongue,
the-
but I
the
didn't
boss
want to
for
say
you.
that because I thought it was wrong.
I was going
No.
to sing The Secret Garden by Bruce Springsteen for you. All right.
You had me at hello.
Yeah. Cary Grant movies.
That's me.
That's you, Cary
Yeah.
Grant. Now, I am one of those people who barely knows who Cary Grant is.
A lot of people are like that.
I know the name. I know he's the biggest star of all time, but I
Yeah.
can't think. Is he Gone with the Wind? Is that Cary Grant?
No.
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable.
North
See,
by
those-
Northwest.
North by Northwest.
Yeah.
What's the one where Jimmy Stewart's running from the?
That's
love Jimmy
that's
Stewart.
Cary Grant. North by Northwest.
That's not Jimmy Stewart.
no.
But Jimmy Stewart was
That's
in a
Alfred
lot
Hitchcock.
of
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock movies.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Vertigo.
both of them were. Yeah, Jimmy Stewart was in Vertigo.
That's it. That's
I
where
love
I'm getting
him.
confused. I think in my head that was the same person, but now I know. See, I learned stuff on the podcast too. Some more categories you had were Keanu Reeves movies.
That is
Oh, that
totally
is
me.
totally
He's my
you.
moon goddess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God! Do you
She
love when he
loves
shoots into
him.
the air in Point Break?
I do.
That's gotta be one of the best.
But my favorite scene is in Speed when he's like frustrated and he's in the white shirt and he holds onto the bar and he's like, and his muscles flex. That's the best
Sure.
part. Yeah.
I was living in the south suburbs of Chicago where I grew up when they were filming The Lake House.
Ooh.
And they built the house on this small lake, like near a coffee house where I used to do stand-up. And you could just drive by and you'd see this big kind of greenish house. And it was like, what is that? And then we heard buzz, like, oh, it's this new Keanu Reeves movie. And then when it came out, it was like, no.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
It was really lame.
kind of a lame
Yeah.
movie.
My friend, my coworker Alma was just in a movie with him,
Oh, really?
The Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. Interesting. That sounds pretty cool. What's it about?
It's like post-apocalyptic
It's not
desert.
about weed brownies or something?
No,
Okay.
but a ton of like Jim Carrey's in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Is it a comedy?
kind of like a dark comedy.
Interesting. The next one, the movie, the TV show Lost.
Both of us.
You both
of
love
us,
it?
yeah.
Never seen it. Not one
What?
episode.
We've
My
seen it like
mom
8
loved it. And my
times.
mom doesn't like anything, but she
Really?
loved Lost.
I like your mom.
My mom likes Lost and Castle.
Oh, I haven't
seen
checked out Castle.
but that's got
Some people
Nathan
swear by
Fillion
that.
from
I know.
Buffy.
Yeah. Wait, he was on Buffy too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big Joss
Last-
Whedon guy.
Yeah, last season.
Firefly
of
too,
Buffy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Firefly.
Movie soundtracks.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Who sings the title song from Breakfast Club?
Don't you forget about me.
Simple Minds.
That's right. little sample questions.
Yeah.
Movie soundtracks. I used to have that Columbia Records thing, Columbia House, where they would send you 12 CDs for a penny.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I used to always get soundtracks. So I had like really weird soundtracks. Like, do you remember the movie End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yep.
I had like the End of Days soundtrack.
What was on that soundtrack?
There was a badass song by Eminem called Bad Influence that I really liked.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Big Eminem guy.
Do you want to hear one of my favorite Eminem lines of all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's from that song. I think it was called Bad Influence. I think it's from the End of Day soundtrack. He says, "My laser disc will make you take a razor to your wrist, make you satanistic, make you take a pistol to your face and place the clip and cock it back and let it go until your brains are ripping out your skull so bad to sew you back would be a waste of stitches."
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I haven't busted that out since like 2001.
I like that.
That's my favorite.
Badass, Ryan.
That's Eminem. My good friend Marshall. You guys know Marshall?
I do know Marshall.
Mathers.
It's just a regular guy.
Mr.
He doesn't know why all the fuss is about him.
Oh, gosh.
This is your next category. It was Guess the Celebrity, which I thought was weird. Like you
I
gave,
just threw that out.
Yeah. It was like, so I would be like,
because he wanted 2 more categories.
be
and I was
like,
like,
So I'd be like, this guy is a bad influence. And then you'd say Marshall Mathers.
Yeah.
Yep, there
Got
you go. Okay. And then last one, true crime, which is kind of like serial killers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So what I did
are
was,
good.
now that we know your topics, those are really broad. Those are really good too.
Thank you.
So I'm going to reveal which topic I chose for each of them. Okay. So Sarah,
Yes.
your topic is
Yes.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
Which has been requested on the show quite a bit. Nobody has ever done it.
No way. First time. Woohoo.
And Tina, your topic is true crime.
Yes.
So it's Buffy versus true crime. This is the trivia showdown. Okay, so we're going to go back and forth
I'm
with
gonna lose.
the topics, and we'll start with Buffy, and we'll go back and forth between Buffy and true crime.
Wow,
You have to come up with a
okay.
buzz-in word. So what is a word that means something between you, maybe like a 1 or 2 syllable word?
Beanpole.
Beanpole?
Yeah.
And does that refer to my stature?
No.
Okay.
That is hilarious.
That's
Have you ever
her
heard
nickname.
No, it's our band name.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah?
is our band name.
You have a band?
No,
Because I'm
we don't.
a bean and she's a pole.
Our pseudo band name, like
Sure.
made up.
Yeah,
I guess.
Beanpoles.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
we had one show.
When I was growing up, I was,
It was
really,
awesome.
really skinny, and I always feel like people would be like my aunts and uncles, look at this bean pole.
Yeah.
That was one of those things.
Sorry if
that's
it
okay.
brings back sore memories.
Oh, real sore. Yeah. I was one time I worked at Best Buy, and there was a girl who said, what did she say? She said this guy was built like a brick shit house. And I was like, you ever hear that phrase?
Yeah.
Oh, he's built like a brick shit house. And I was like, what does that mean? She's like, he's really built. And I'm like, what am I built like? She was like, broken porta potty.
Oh,
like,
that's not nice.
That's
Sick burn.
terrible.
Sick
Next
burn.
time, don't ask questions like that.
I know. But then you know what I do? Pop in a little M&M.
There you go.
And it all go. I get the power back. You know what I'm saying?
Trivia Showdown.
All right, here we go. Buffy and True Crime will go back and forth.
Oh,
You guys
gosh,
are buzzing
I'm
in
so
with
nervous.
Beanpole.
That's right.
Let's go. Question number 1 for Buffy. Now, either of you can answer either side.
She's
so do
gonna
you feel
answer all
like
the
you'll know
Buffy
Buffy ones?
I'll know some.
And do you feel like you'll know some real
She
crime
will.
ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I will.
Yeah, she will.
Buzzing with Beanpole. First question is about Buffy. Wait for the whole question to be read
Yes.
so people can play along at home. And then we'll do some other fun stuff. Here's question number 1. According to a 2000 autobiography, what Dawson's Creek star turned down the role of Buffy so she could go to high school instead?
Beanpole.
Tina.
Michelle Williams.
Incorrect.
No.
Sarah.
It was, oh no. What is her name?
Not too many choices.
Katie Holmes.
That's right.
Really?
1
That was my
point
first guess.
for
I was like, what
thinking
is her
blonde.
name?
1 point for Sarah. Good job. Katie Holmes was in a movie I liked called Disturbing Behavior.
I
You ever
love
see
that movie.
That was
Yeah.
kind of underrated. Like it was kind of dumb at the time, but when I go back, I'm like, oh, this was actually kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it's a
Did
great
you like The
movie.
Faculty?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Same kind of genre.
Genre,
Yeah,
exactly.
Where the kids go crazy.
Yeah.
All right, question number 1 for True Crime. What was the name of the alleged killer on the Netflix series Making a Murderer?
Oh, Sean. Beanpole.
Yep.
Not Sean making a murderer. What was his name?
You can't look at me. I'm not giving you the answer. I got to think of the
Tina's
answer.
thinking it over. Sarah's thinking of a comeback.
Oh, I'm gonna lose this. I know his nephew's Brian.
It's going into the credits.
Oh, it's gonna go to Sarah because I cannot think of his name.
The key grip on the show was
Key group.
Can I buzz in?
Yeah,
Beanpole?
sure.
Stephen Avery?
It is Stephen Avery.
I knew it was Steve.
And that's 2 points because it's not your topic, so you got
Damn
2.
it! I'm gonna get
So
those
nice
points back.
job.
You do it.
I'm not. I'm totally gonna lose this.
Spoiler alert for the listener, I spilled a whole cup of water over all the
It's
answers. and stuff.
slowly
Yes.
been like covering
So I
it.
can't even write on anything.
Oh.
Do you guys have a little slip of paper?
I got a receipt, I think.
Oh, boy. I need that.
Checks?
I'm going to need
Yeah.
your pay stub. Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
All right, perfect. Okay, so Sarah has...
Sarah has 0. Tina has 3.
Lies.
Tina's got 0 and 3 for Sarah.
Wow.
Here's question number 2 for Buffy. Who did Nicholas Brendan play on the show?
Oh, blind Paul.
Tina.
Xander.
Xander is correct, and that's 2 points for you because it's not your topic. So it's 3-2.
I hate
just
you right
like
now.
There you go. That guy he's had some weird
He's
real
still
life
having
trouble.
issues,
Like,
yeah.
is he a drunk or is he?
I think he's a drunk and
and-
probably bipolar.
Yeah.
Did he pull a knife on somebody?
Yes, his girlfriend or wife or
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
in Reno or something.
Domestic. Mhm.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Because he plays the love interest of the one girl on Criminal Minds, right?
Yes, Penelope Garcia.
Yeah.
I
I bet you
watched
guys
that.
you probably love Criminal
No,
Minds.
I don't.
she doesn't, but I love it.
Because it's not real enough.
Because it's yes,
She
it's
doesn't
not-
like it. No, it's formulaic.
It's the same thing. Yeah,
Too
exactly.
formulaic?
The formula.
I see. Here's question number 2 for True Crime. What movie about a $17 million robbery of an armored truck depository was based on a true story?
What
Just
movie?
came out.
It just came out.
Well, within the last year. Is the second biggest cash robbery in history. $17 million armored truck depository. It was a comedy when it came out.
It was Beanpole.
Yeah.
Masterminds.
That's right.
Dang.
You got it. 3-3, just like that.
Man.
I just watched it on a plane. Have you guys
It's
seen
so
it?
funny. Yes.
It's pretty funny. It's not the funniest movie, but I thought it was really well made, and like the story was fun. Like it was a perfect plane movie.
Yeah.
like when I watched it, I didn't know it was based on a true story until the very end.
It seems so ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it wasn't that ridiculous, but it was. They did a good job. I
That's
thought.
Zach. Every time he opens his mouth, I just die.
He's the best. Here's question number 3 for Buffy. What was the fancy name of the villains who came to Sunnydale and stole the voices of all the
Beanpole.
characters on season 4?
Beanpole, the gentleman.
It is the gentleman.
I'm not letting you buzz in on that.
That's one that I think I probably stopped watching around season 3, so I got to go back and watch
Oh,
that.
that was a
great episode.
great
I
episode.
loved when they would do fun stuff like that, or like
The musical?
was it musical,
Yeah.
and then
Once More with
Scrubs.
Feeling.
I like Scrubs a lot. Scrubs did a musical episode.
Did they?
That was kind of fun. Yeah, they like a girl from like I think a Broadway production.
Oh.
She like is one of the patients, and she's singing about everything that's happening in a hospital.
Was
That's
it
awesome.
Kristen
or something.
Chenoweth?
Yeah, something like that. Question. You said that real like you want to fight her.
No.
She does.
All right.
I like her.
Watch
I think
out,
she's
Chenoweth.
cute.
Here's question number 3. What murderer did Rob Lowe play in a Lifetime movie called Untouchable? What murderer did Rob Lowe play in a Lifetime
Beanpole?
movie? Yep.
Oh.
Untouchable.
Scott Peterson.
Incorrect.
Ooh.
But you're really, really, really close.
Oh, gosh. I can see what he looks like, too. Oh, is it Gary Condon?
No, it's actually
No.
Drew Peterson.
Drew!
Scott was the younger, like,
In-
handsome guy that killed his
in
wife
the Bay
in
Area.
the Bay.
Yeah.
This
Dang
guy
it.
was from Chicago, the
And he
other
had like
guy.
2 dead
Oh,
wives,
like,
right?
Like
I think
salt
like
and pepper
3.
hair.
Yeah, and he I always remember the commercial for the Lifetime movie. This garage door goes up, and he's standing in the driveway, and the woman's like, "Oh dear," and he goes, "Oh, I think I wrote it down. What is he?" No, he goes. He says something like, "You can't touch me, bitch."
Yes, he
Oh.
does. I
And
remember
that's why
that
it's called
scene.
Untouchable. And then it
Yep.
was like Untouchable.
Oh,
the Drew
God.
Peterson story. You can't touch me, bitch. Or
bitch.
something like that. Oh, man. Weird for Rob Lowe to want to do that.
I mean,
Why would
Rob
he be-
Lowe is because it's Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got that whole
Sure.
stigma.
Number 4 for Buffy. The show premiered on the WB in 97 and concluded on what network in 03?
Beanpole.
Yep.
CW?
Beanpole.
Oh, dang.
WB.
Oh, no.
Wrong too?
Well, WB is when it, when it
No.
premiered. Oh, you're saying it ended on the same network?
Oh, what did it end on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that wrong.
It was UPN.
UPN. Dang it, yes.
Channel
Yeah.
13?
I knew.
UPN. So no points there. Question number 4 for True Crime. What year did OJ's famous Bronco chase occur?
Ooh, Beanpole?
Yep.
1994?
It was. Nice job. And that is 1 point for you. So it is 4-4. 4 for Tina, 4 for Sarah. And we're diving back in. Do you guys remember where you were when you watched that chase?
I was
No.
young.
I watched it at my friend's grandparents' house, and I remember being like, why is everyone watching this? Like, because I was like 9.
Were
Yeah,
you?
9, I was 9. So I remember being like, why is everyone, what is so great? It's just a car on a highway. Like, I didn't understand
Yeah.
what the connotation was.
I
you know?
remember rewatching it on YouTube and being like even more fascinated with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, here's question number 5 for Buffy. Does Buffy ever tell Spike she loves him?
Beanpole. No.
Incorrect.
Beanpole, yes.
Yes. So
she tell him
Sarah
at the
got
very
it.
end?
It's 5-4.
I thought
He's
she, like,
dying, I
He's
guess.
dying. She's like, I love you. And he's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was like a suggestive thing. Like she didn't literally say the words.
People I saw online had said, did she really mean it, or was she trying to console him?
See?
But she does say
That's
it.
why in my head I thought it was just suggested.
Question number 5 for true crime. What famous pair's last names were Parker and Barrow? Or Barrow. Barrow. Parker and Barrow.
B-A-R-R.
A famous pair.
Beanpole?
Yes.
Bonnie and Clyde?
That's right.
Oh,
That's 2
nice.
points for Sarah, so it's 7-4 right now. Tina's got to come back and steal some of these.
I'm not.
Buffy questions. That was the first movie, or at least the one they always told me about. My parents saw in theaters on one of their early dates.
Really?
67 or 68.
With
or
Warren
whatever.
Beatty.
Wow.
Way
Warren-
back in the day.
And Can't
And
remember
they
the lady.
They always tell me how big of a deal it was to go to the movies because it was like in a theater, not like a Cineplex. Like it was like a big curtain opened up, and there were like 2,000 seats
And
that was, like,
real
this big deal.
projection?
Yeah, it was like a real big deal. Here comes question number 6 for Buffy. Julie Benz plays a vampire named Darla on the first episode. What Showtime show did she play a major character on?
Beanpole.
Yes,
Dexter.
that's right.
Ooh, that's right. She played
And
the
that's,
girlfriend.
your 8th point, 8-4. Yeah, she plays. I don't remember Dexter's biatch.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pseudo
Dexter's
girl.
Beyond.
She died for him. John Lithgow
She sure
killed
did.
her.
That's right.
Spoiler alert.
That's when I stopped watching.
I know. It was such a good
Such a
season
good
with
season.
him. Yeah.
And then I heard it just kind of went
It
downhill.
did.
Yep.
It totally did.
Question number 6 for true crime. What kind of smuggler was someone named George Jung? George Jung. What did he
Ooh.
smuggle?
Beanpole?
Yeah.
Cocaine?
100% correct. Good job.
Wow.
It's the
good
movie
job.
Blow is based off of George
yeah,
Jung,
okay.
played by Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
nice.
Really good pull. That was awesome. And that is 1. I feel like I should give her 2 for
No,
that.
you're fine.
All right, so it's 5-8. Well done. We're back over to Buffy, and Buffy number 7. Who leaves Willow season 4 to try and control his powers? Who leaves Willow season 4 to
Beanpole?
try and control his powers?
Is it the werewolf?
Yes. But what is-
Seth Green. What is his name? Oz.
Yes.
Dang it.
And that's 2 points for Tina, and just like that, it's
Damn you.
8-7. Man, good job, Oz.
Love him.
Question number 7 for true crime. What happened to someone named J.C. Duggard?
Beanpole.
Damn it.
Sarah.
She was kidnapped.
That's right. And that's 2 points because it's not your category.
You got my category.
It is 10.
I'm getting you back.
10-7. She was the one that was 18 years.
Yeah.
Kidnapped, had 2 kids. Is the movie Room based off of her, kind of?
I think that
It
story's
could
based
be.
off of several
Different things?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but I hear it's great.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really good.
It's on Prime for free.
There's a trailer for a movie, and it's called Bigsby Bear.
I want to
Have you
see
seen it?
that. I want to see that.
Kind of the same thing.
My friend went to Comic-Con and they gave them like a 15-minute preview of the
Yeah.
beginning, and she was telling me about it. I'm like, that sounds so interesting.
My friend Brandon Vaughn, who works on Ridiculousness, saw it, and he said it was phenomenal.
Really?
It's the same kind of thing where like it's like this kid gets kidnapped when he's young, but it's kind of a dark comedy, and the people that kidnap him are like, they're not abusive.
No.
They don't let him out of the house.
Well, they're
and
in a bunker.
They're in like a bunker,
Yeah.
and they produce a children's program
Yeah.
for him called Bigsby Bear, which kind of teaches him about the world, and
Yeah.
also like don't go outside because there's toxic gas, like so he doesn't leave the thing. And then
Oh.
he gets out of it and realizes like how messed up everything is. But he has all like it's like a really bizarre idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it
it's
sounds really interesting.
like that Brandon Fraser movie.
But Mark Hamill plays the dad.
No way,
who's
really?
creating the TV show. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's probably
Okay.
going to be amazing. So I'm going to watch that.
I'm pretty sure it is.
This is question number 8. Question number 8 for Buffy. Finish Buffy's quote.
Oh no.
Whenever Giles sends me on a mission, he always says, please, and afterwards, I get a blank. Whenever Giles sends me on a mission, he always says, please, and afterwards, I always get a blank.
Beanpole?
Yep.
Cookie?
It is Cookie.
I was gonna say
Nice job. Good job. Sarah got 1 more point there. It's 11-7, and Tina can still come back with a few
No, I
questions here.
can't.
Yes, you can.
Question number 8 for true crime. Who was sentenced to 5 months in prison for insider trading in 2004?
Beanpole.
Sarah.
Martha
It
Stewart?
was, and that's
Martha
2 points.
Stewart.
So it's, let's see, 13-7 right now. Martha Stewart. Have you guys seen her in her cooking show with Snoop Dogg?
Dog. No, I've always
No,
wanted to though.
I have
That's got to
not.
be fun, right?
It's got to be hilarious.
It's got to be great. This is
Are
question.
they both high while they're doing it?
Hopefully.
Probably. At least one of them is definitely. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking both of them are.
Question number 9 for Buffy. Who comes to Sunnydale in 2000 because he heard stories about the Slayer and wanted to meet her for himself?
Beanpole.
Sarah.
Spike.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Tina. Someone more famous than Spike.
Oh, wait. I know this. I wanted to come to
Came
me.
in 2000, so the show was already on for a couple of years.
It's not... oh, my God. I'm losing it. I'm totally losing it.
Any guesses? It was...
It's a demon, or it's a bad guy, right? Yeah.
It was Dracula.
Oh, Dracula.
Dracula. So no points there, but Dracula shows up.
At least she got no points. Go ahead. Let's
Have
go.
you guys ever read the Anne Rice books, the Interview with the Vampire stuff?
Yes.
I have all of them at home, and I'm thinking about starting them, but I don't know if it's worth my time. My wife read them all, and she loved them as a kid.
Exactly. I liked them when
Yeah.
I was a kid. Not so much now.
Might be a bit different when you're older.
That's what I found with a lot of the Goosebumps books.
I found that too.
All right, here is
I
number
love Goosebumps.
number 9 for true crime. What is Lorena Bobbitt famous for?
People
Tina.
killing our parents.
No.
The penis.
No, she can't. She already gave her answer.
I heard some people might have heard killing her parents. I heard killing the penis.
Oh, dang.
She killed that penis pretty good. Cut it off.
Yes. I was thinking of Lizzie Borden.
How the hell does that
not
penis?
remember the penis.
Because I heard LB
And parents.
Yeah.
They put the penis back on, and his penis worked. How
No,
does
it
that-
doesn't.
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think that's
no.
a lie. I think he's lying.
I haven't checked it.
Well, I would hope not. But you never know.
Poor Bobbitt.
We should ask an ex-girlfriend.
I have a friend
Yeah.
named Mike Bobbitt. I wonder if he's ever had his penis cut off.
Terrible
Maybe
name.
not ask
What
him
was
that.
his name? Jim Bobbitt? Lorena?
Lorena
What was his
and
name?
I think it was
James?
Bob
James?
Bobbitt.
Bob
No.
Bobbitt.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Here's
Hopefully
number...
it's not Dick Bobbitt.
Dick Bobbitt. She Dick lobbed it.
She Dick lobbed
She threw it in a field. That's
awesome.
All right, number 9 for... number 10. This is the last Buffy question. We'll go through these pretty
God.
quick. Last Buffy question. How many total seasons was Buffy on for?
Beanpole. 7.
It was 7, and that is your 14th point. Tina, for true crime, let's see if you can get this last one. What was a more common name for a criminal named Jordan Belfort?
Beanpole.
Yeah.
The Wolf on Wall Street.
Yes, that's
Dang
right.
it, I
You
knew it
got
too.
So
Yeah, you
right
did.
now, Tina, you have
0.
You have 9, which is pretty good. And over here, Sarah, you have 14. I
Nice.
think. 10. Yeah, 14. So it's 14 to 9.
Cool.
We have a couple more things, so you can come back, Tina. Let's see if you
All
nail
right.
these. Now, this is something I did. I combined both topics of Buffy and true crime.
Okay.
In a very
Ooh.
loose way. So,
Wow,
get ready for
okay.
this. Maybe you'll figure it out.
I like
if you
it.
get it right, you get 2 points. You're buzzing in the same way. This is called the combo question.
Combo question.
Okay, so this is for 2 points, and you just buzz in with Beanpole. For 2 points, in what movie does Sarah Michelle Gellar play a rising pop star with a song called Teenage Horniness is Not a Crime? So she plays a pop star in the movie with a song called Teenage Horniness is Not a Crime. So this is my loose way of combining the word crime and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. What is Sarah Michelle?
This is kind of a notoriously
star.
bad movie. I want to say it's about
Is it? No.
12 or 13 years old.
Is it a parody? Oh, I can't ask you questions.
No. It's 2 words. It's about L.A. Kind of.
L.A.
You might have not seen it. A lot of people have not seen it. I
Yeah.
think I actually
I don't-
turned it off.
I don't
Did you
think I
really?
have.
Yeah, I was like, this is dumb. It's really long.
I mean, I love her as Buffy, but
Any guesses?
No, I'm just seeing her
drawing
as
a blank.
Daphne.
It was called Southland Tales.
Oh,
Southland
no.
Tales.
I've never
It
heard
was
of
her
that.
and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
jeez.
she plays like a porn star who has her own energy drink, and she's trying to reinvent herself as a pop star. It's like a
Oh.
weird movie based off of a graphic novel or something.
Oh.
It's kind of like a crime noir style movie. Some people love it, but I think it's notoriously a pretty bad movie.
I'm definitely going to have to check this out.
Southland Tales. I think it
Southland
came out in
Tales.
2003 or 4. Check it
Wow.
out.
So,
It was
like
the guy who
right
did Donnie
after
Darko.
Buffy?
Oh, okay.
Richard something.
Linkletter?
No,
he didn't do
I
Donnie
might not even be
Darko.
Richard. I forget his name. But the guy who did Donnie Darko did this movie as well.
Wow.
So no points there. This is the last thing we're going to
I've
do.
never
This is
heard of
called
that. No.
Categories with Buds.
Categories with buds.
So we're going to go around in a circle with a certain category. I'm going to play with you guys. I'll
Ooh,
kick it
okay.
off.
But you know the answers.
Well, I
No,
only know the
he doesn't.
category.
Oh, okay.
The category is we're just going to name Keanu Reeves movie, which was one of your earlier topics.
There you go.
So we're going to go
Can I
around in a
think of
circle.
it?
Last person standing gets 3 points. So, Tina, you can't beat Sarah, but you can come back and just get some dignity.
You're gonna.
All right?
You can have bragging rights.
So I'm going to kick it
That
off
you know
with the
all-
first movie, and I'm going to say the one you said earlier, Speed, and we'll go to Tina, then Sarah, then back to me. So what do you got next?
River's Edge.
River's Edge.
Point Break.
I'm going to say, I was going to say Speed 2. He's not in that one. I was going to say the movie Hardball.
John Wick. I loved Hardball.
Matrix.
John Wick 2.
Oh, cheater. The Lake House.
Yeah.
Matrix Revolutions.
Really?
Matrix Reloaded.
To the Bone.
Point Break.
You already said it.
dang it, I did.
So you're out. Down to me and Tina. I'm going to say
God.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, I just thought of one.
Oh, God. How many seconds do I have? Let me get
like
this.
3.
Like 3.
I got one more.
Oh, my God. Why am I drawing a blank?
Chain Reaction. Tina, I heard you say Chain Reaction.
Chain Reaction.
Well, and I don't have any more because that was my last one. So,
Dang it. My own private eye.
that's the one I was trying to think
you
of.
got
The one
3
with Kate
points there for
Blanchett.
12. Final score, Sarah 14 as our winner against Tina, who had 12.
Ryan's
So it's a very
totally
close
letting me
game.
win.
Totally close game.
Close.
What did you guys think of the questions?
I loved them.
I loved them.
They
What
were
were some-
super hard.
What were some of the other movies that you were just about to say about Keanu Reeves that we missed?
My Own Private Idaho.
Yeah.
Such a great movie.
There's a lot of rom-coms,
The Gift.
right?
The Gift was so good, where he played the abusive husband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
Gift.
good.
What's that
I
weird
literally
one that
just
we were
watched
watching?
all of his movies. Oh,
the two girls?
Neon Demon.
Neon Demon.
Oh no, that one is the Eli Roth movie.
Was there 6 Samurai, 7 Samurai?
Samurai.
Yeah.
mhm.
Something like that?
Yeah. Oh, and Little Buddha. Hello.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
We didn't
hello.
even say Bill and Ted. Holy
Yeah.
cow. Well, guys, that was the podcast. Thank you so much for doing it. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here? What's
Heck
the name of your
yeah.
show? Where can people find it?
Unpolished Discourse.
I love it.
Yeah, we're on most of the apps for podcasts. We're still waiting to get on iTunes.
You can hear us reenacting scenes from movies badly.
Yeah, so we had famous kid films, teen angst,
Yeah.
Cary Grant.
Oh, I can't wait to
Recently,
check
we're
those out.
doing Mafia and Mob now.
I love it. Well, that's awesome. Unpolished Discourse. Look for that. And you girls will always be found on Wednesday nights at Last Name Brewing playing some trivia with Buds.
Are we your
Last
best
name brewing?
pals?
Yes, and I have buttons to dedicate that for you. The Pocock, official Pocock Brewing
Thank
Company.
you.
And because I thought you guys would like these, Daria stickers from my
Love
good friend,
Daria.
Brad Albright, and Brad
Nice.
Albright Illustrations. Thank you, girls, so much
Thanks,
for making
Brad.
the trek all the way out. Thanks, Brad.
Brad.
And any last words
Oh.
before you guys take off?
Yes. You're awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're friends
and
with
we
you
hope
now.
everybody likes us so he invites us back on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Listener quiz.
Close battle between those two ladies. Sarah, Tina, thanks so much for stopping by on the rooftop of my workplace to battle in those topics of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and true crime. That was tons of fun. And I forget if we talked about this in the episode, but a giant cup of water I had spilled from the wind over the table and slowly leaked over cords and papers and all kinds of stuff. So that was fun to try and work around for that episode. The nerdiness is not over here on the Trivia with Buds podcast because we have a 5-question listener quiz. If it's your first time listening to the show, we have quizzes submitted by different friends and sometimes quasi-celebrities, sometimes just the voices of impression celebrities by friends of mine. This week we have a good old-fashioned regular person. Her name is Alexandra Nicole Vogt, and she has 5 questions for you on, well, you know what, I'm going to let her tell you, but it is pretty damn nerdy. Take it away, Alexandra.
My name is Alexandra Vogt, sending you these questions from Chicago, Illinois. The questions are, what Doctor Who creature was introduced in the episode Blink? What is the title of John Hurt's regeneration of the Doctor? In what year was the Doctor Who series rebooted? What is considered the Doctor's most fearsome enemy? Who held the title of the Doctor for the longest? The answers are Weeping Angels, The War Doctor, 2005, The Daleks, and Tom Baker, or The Fourth Doctor, could also be accepted. For further Doctor Who discussion, as well as some gaming entertainment, feel free to catch my live stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/BlackDahlia42, BlackDahlia42, every day around 9:30 or 10 o'clock Central Time.
How'd you do on those Doctor Who questions? I need to watch a lot more Doctor Who. I've watched some of the ones with Billy Piper, Chris Eccleston, maybe. I think that was right. I think he was the Doctor. And I really liked them. But I need to go back and watch different iterations and kind of follow the series a little bit more so I know what the hell's going on when people are talking about Doctor Who. So thank you so much, Alexander and Nicole Vogt, for your Doctor Who quiz. If you have your own 5-question listener quiz, all you have to do is record it. It could be not as fancy as you think. Just do it on the Voice Memos app on your phone, on your Android, whatever you have, your iPhone, and send me that file. It just needs to be in this format. You just say your name, where you're from, and then you ask the 5 questions on whatever topic you want. It could be 5 random questions, whatever you want it to be. And then you ask the questions, and then you ask the questions again, but after each question, you give the answer so people can kind of check their answers, and then you can plug something at the end. So give yourself a nice plug like Alexandra did. Send those to me at ryanbudds@gmail.com, ryanbudds, BUDDS, @gmail.com. You can also leave them in the form of a voicemail on the Trivia with Buds hotline, which is 424-265-1212. That's 424-265-1212. Shout out to Amber McGeechee, who is always on top of show notes for this show. She also is compiling a bunch of different categories of trivia, 50 questions on Disney, 50 questions on Sons of Anarchy, 50 questions on Friends and Game of Thrones, and all these cool things that people like. I'm always looking for good trivia questions on different websites and things, so I thought, why not host some of my own? So those are coming very soon. I don't know if they'll be like PDFs or just special pages on my website, but I will have some different sections, either downloadable or just copy and pastable, of trivia questions. Like if you want to host your own trivia party and you just need some quick questions, or you're doing something at work, I want you to use my website as a resource for that. So a lot of fun trivia, courtesy of Amber, coming very soon. This week's business of the week is Superhuman Images. That is my pal, Bruce Bickle Jr. Supa, SUPAHUMAN, Superhuman Images. This guy does graphic design. If you need a logo or banner, he works globally. Anywhere in the world, he will design something for you. I've seen his work. It's very cool. I want you to check out his Facebook page, Superhuman Images. Send him a message, and he'll give you a quote and an HD sample right away. That's Bruce Bickle Jr. at Superhuman Images. That is this week's Biz of the Week. Rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast if you like it, if you enjoyed it. If you like today's topics, go back and check out some of the other topics, and tell a friend about the show. Word of mouth is my favorite friend to get more ears and eyes on this podcast. So definitely tell a friend. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. We're up to almost 70 reviews, and I'm picking names off of there and sending them amazing care packages. A really cool video coming up is from a package I'm about to get in the next week or so from my friend Drew A. Blank. He's a great artist in the southeastern part of the country, and I ordered tons and tons. I think I ordered 350 prints off of his website because he discontinued a ton of these cool square art pieces of pop culture that he does. So I bought a ton of stuff, and he's going to send me a huge box with a bunch of added in bonus freebies. So I'll do this huge, probably hour-long unboxing video on Facebook Live that'll be coming very soon, and you will be winning stuff like that. These art squares, I'll mail them to you for different prizes for leaving reviews and different things like that. And as always, you can win this stuff at live trivia nights with me all around LA. Hit me up at triviawithbuds.com. It's a website. It looks really good. I use Wix.com to make it, and I really like Wix. It's very intuitive and very handy to have in the mobile and desktop formats. So check out triviawithbuds.com. Drop me a line on the contact page on there. You can see how the live trivia nights work. You can see sample rounds. You can copy and paste or quiz yourself on those different topics on Game of Thrones and Friends, etc. that I talked about. Triviawithbuds.com for all your trivia needs. And once again, if you found me through the Fully Posable guys, Jeff and Scott Toon, the Wrestling Action Figures podcast that I am so fond of, thank you so much for checking me out. Also, if you found me through Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling, another wrestling podcast that I just love, I will send you some free wrestling coloring pages. These are from a 1991 coloring book set that I found in my mom's garage just a few weeks ago. I scanned in 10 of my favorite pictures with my scanner at home, and they are available for you to download, print off, and color in with yourself or your friends or your family. 10 wrestling coloring pages emailed to you at no cost to you. If you just let me know, send me a message. You can hit me up on Twitter, ryanbudds, RYANBUDDS, and just let me know, hey man, I want those coloring pages. I found you from your buddies over at Fully Posable or Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. That's all I got for you this week. Thanks again for listening to this very fun episode of the show. Tell a friend, go back, check out some old episodes, and enjoy the end of your summer here. We got some amazing episodes coming for you in just a few. The creator of Hey Arnold, Craig Bartlett, stopping by in just a week or so, and a great episode about toy collecting in general. If you like custom toys, if you like really cool, hard-to-find toys, you're going to love our questions with Mr. Dan Polydorus, former writer for the You Don't Know Jack video game series. That's all I got. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time for more Trivia with Buds. Bye-bye.